and welcome to my January releases video. Now I want to jump right in on this video because there are a lot of books that are coming out this month and I don't want this video to be too long for you guys. So let's get started. First of all, we have Wayfair by Alexandra Bracken, which comes out on January 3rd. This is the second book in the Passenger duology, and it is about a couple who are trying to escape an evil group by jumping through time. I got this book early from Chapters by I pre-ordered it and by some miracle they sent it to me early, so I already have my physical copy, although by the time this video is released, I am sure this book will be out in the world so everybody can enjoy it. But this and Passenger are on my January TBR. I'll include a link up above there and in the description box down below for the video. And I'm really hoping to get through this entire duology this month. I can't wait to read it. Next up, we have The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett by Chelsea Sidoti. This is such a happy looking cover for a book, but it has such a dark premise to it. It's about a girl who goes missing and another one wants to figure out what happened to her, and so she quite literally and figuratively puts herself into Lizzie Lovett's shoes. She takes over Lizzie's life to try to figure out what happened to her and all the lies that Lizzie told, and tries to solve it before the police happen to. So this sounds so cool, and she's trying to find herself as she solves this disappearance, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens there. That book also comes out January 3rd. Next up, we have The Cursed Queen by Sarah Fine. This is the second book in the Imposter Queen series about a girl who is supposed to be the savior and the queen of her people, but it turns out she isn't. These have such gorgeous covers, and I love the premise for it. I really love girls and people who are supposed to be the saviors, but it ends up they aren't, but they turn themselves into the savior anyways. I love these kinds of books. So, although I don't own them yet, maybe I'll get them in the new year, although I shouldn't, but I can't wait. And The Cursed Queen comes out January 3rd. Then we have The Alchemists of Loom by Elise Kova. This is another book that I had pre-ordered and Chapters sent me early, so I have my physical copy already. It comes out January 10th. Now this book is about kick-ass female characters and dragons. Do you really need to know more than that? Go out and buy it now if you already haven't, or pre-order it because it won't be available yet by the time this video is up. This sounds like an amazing book, and Elise is such an amazing person. I have no doubt I am going to love this book to death, and I won't be able to wait for the sequel. Then we have Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. This is the second book in the thrilling Witchland series, the first book being Truth Witch, which was my favorite book that I read in 2016. And so I have very high hopes for Wind Witch. It is out December 10th. This book is one of my most anticipated reads of 2017, so I know I'm going to love it, and I'm going to be begging for the third book. Then we have Roseblood by A.G. Howard. This is a young adult retelling of The Phantom of the Opera. Gorgeous cover. What else do you need to know? Sounds amazing. You have to get it. This book comes out January 10th. Then we have Frostblood by Ellie Blake. This book also got sent to me early by Chapters from a pre-order, and it is also on my January TBR. I'll include a link to the video up above there and in the description box. This book is an epic fantasy with fire and ice and romance, and it just sounds so amazing. I made it my first book to read of 2017, and I'm extremely looking at like I can't wait for it. I kind of need to start reading right now, but I'm holding off until I film. So, this book comes out January 10th. Moving on, we have Poison's Kiss by Brianna Shields. This book is inspired by Indian folklore, and it is about a teenage assassin who literally kills people with her kiss. It sounds so cool. I love the teenage assassin stories, and apparently fans of Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series will absolutely love this book. So that just bumps it up a notch in my opinion. It comes out January 10th. Next is The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. This comes out January 12th. This is a really interesting premise for a story. It's about a girl who has no short-term memory. She can't remember what she did yesterday or the day before that. She only has long-term memories from her childhood. But then she kisses a boy and the next day she remembers it. So she ends up following him and traveling halfway across the world on this adventure, and during this adventure she finds herself, and it just sounds so cool. I can't wait to read it. Memory is it's so intriguing to me. So I know this book will intrigue me. It comes out January 12th. Next is a book I'm sure everyone has pre-ordered. It is Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth, and it comes out January 17th. I'm sure I don't really have to say too much about this book, other than it's the first book in the new duology by Veronica Roth, and it's about warring factions in space. Next we have Hearthstone by L. Catherine White, which is described as a fantasy Pride and Prejudice with dragons and such. I absolutely love Pride and Prejudice. It's one of my absolute all-time favorite classics. So adding in fantasy, which I also love, definitely sells it for me. This book comes out January 17th. Next up is City of Saints and Thieves by Natalie C. Anderson. This is a murder mystery / revenge book that takes place in Kenya. It comes out January 24th. Now is another book I'm sure everybody and their mother has already pre-ordered. Why wouldn't you? The cover's absolutely gorgeous. The plot sounds amazing. It's Caraval by Stephanie Garber. It comes out January 31st. The story is about two girls who escape their father and go to a game where the audience participates called Caraval. And it ends up one sister must now go on an adventure to save the other. This book sounds magical and epic, and I absolutely cannot wait to get my hands on it. Then we have Blood of Wonderland by Colleen Oakes. This is the second book in the Queen of Hearts saga, which is about the origin story of the Queen of Hearts. It comes out January 31st. Then we have The Dark Days Pact by Alison Goodman. This is the second book in the Lady Helen series about a girl during the Victorian era who becomes a demon hunter. It's described as Buffy meets Pride and Prejudice, and I loved the first book and I cannot wait for the second book. It comes out January 31st. Lastly, we have The Edge of Everything by Jeff Giles. It also comes out January 31st. This story is about a girl and her brother who are viciously attacked after they had just lost their father, but they end up being saved by a bounty hunter. And afterwards, they go on an adventure to discover each other's worlds and find out about each other's past and what it means for their future together. This book just sounded really interesting to me and kind of different than anything else that I've ever read before, so I also really wanted to read this one. And that is it. That is a lot of friggin' books coming out in the month of January, isn't it? Our pocketbooks are going to be empty. Have you guys pre-ordered any of the books mentioned in this video? Are there any other books that I missed that you want to let me know about? Feel free to let me know down in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. You can also find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Facebook, and I'll leave links for those down in the description box below, along with links for all the books mentioned in this video. Thanks for watching! This is Christine signing off. Timekeeper is my diverse book of the month. A steampunk fantasy, it takes place in Victorian England where clock towers control time.